wrestling. We did not evolve.
We have always been here.
In the shadows.
Waiting, ready, motivated.
And now Ring of Honor places its spotlight on women.
And as we stretch our arms to make space, we inspire.
As we put our babies to bed,
we create fairy tales.
And as we lace up our boots and wear our stilettos,
we chase dreams of gold.
We are strong.
We are athletes.
We are passionate.
We are they.
This is Ring of Honor.
And this is women's wrestling.
Hello, my friends. Welcome to Beyond the Bells Live, the Ring of Honor Women's Championship Tournament recap and analysis show right here on Women's Division Wednesday. I'm, of course, your host, Alyssa Marino, joined by expert analyst, professional badass LuFisto, and our special guest co-host, filling in for Board of Directors member Maria Kanellis-Bennett, Ring of Honor lead broadcaster, Ian Riccaboni. Hello, Ian.
Hey, Alyssa. Hey, LuFisto. It's so great to be here on Beyond the Bells. I think it's amazing that we do this every week. I know it's amazing that we do this every week. It's such a great platform to get up to speed with all the great women's division action in Ring of Honor. And we crowned a champion this week.
We did. We certainly did. My goodness. And now you were, we thought who better to hop on this episode than the man that was on the call all night long at Death Before Dishonor. And it was overall an amazing night of action. We will be getting into the women's championship bout. But Ian, what was the overall vibe at the event?
It was incredible. I think the expectations that were put on the shoulders of everyone involved can't be measured. Ring of Honor has a history of women's wrestling that includes Amazing Kong, Daisy Hayes, just amazing Sarah Del Rey, these amazing names from the past. But Ring of Honor has admittedly focused on male wrestling since that time period. And we've had this opportunity now where these amazing women from all over the globe came to Ring of Honor to compete for this championship. And you had two competitors that earned their spot. They won 3 matches, 3 battles, and they left nothing to chance in Philadelphia. Just an amazing bout. And the weight of the world was really on their shoulders. The women's division was going to sink or swim based on the tournament and the success of the tournament and the heart and the passion that we saw. And that was on ample display in Philly.
It most certainly was. LuFisto, did you get a chance to tune in for the pay-per-view? What were your thoughts?
Of course. And one thing, when I've learned that the women were just before the main event, I'm like, oh, that's pressure, because they need to deliver. And I have no doubt that they would, because they have so much passion. Like Rok-c's almost like she fell into it when she was a little girl, like pretty much at 13. And Miranda is so confident in everything she does. And but I can't imagine like what it was just to be there right after like a crazy like tag team match that had so much action. And then just before, you had Josh Woods finally beating Jonathan Gresham. So the card went, like everything went better and better and better. And then it was their turn. But my God, did they deliver an awesome match, back and forth, hard hitting. Like it was anyone's game until the very end, I would say. Like it was really hard to say, is it going to be Rok-c? Is it going to be Miranda? So it was very exciting. And like props to the commentating team. I think ROH has one of the best. I've tweeted about it so many times. Like, you guys had so much to the actions. If someone was not able to see all the matches in the tournament brackets, you guys did such a great job to bring everybody up to date to see how did Rok-c get there. What's Miranda's plan, what she's been up to until getting to that final. I like that both their parents were in the crowd too. It made the thing really more emotional. And I love also that all the fans at ROH had those streamers for the ladies. It's Japanese tradition for women. So like props to the girls. And of course, congratulations to our champion, Rok-c.
And even I know we had a viewer, Keith Havens, I believe, had said that the women's match was the match of the night, and we are definitely going to get even more into that. But first, we talked about kind of the resurgence of the women's division, and Our fearless leader, Maria Kanellis-Bennett, shared some really inspiring words in hour one. So let's take a look at what Maria had to say.
My name is Maria Kanellis-Bennett, and I am the first lady of professional wrestling. And I am a board of directors member for Ring of Honor. And I have to say, I'm very excited about tonight. And I am incredibly proud of every single woman that competed in the tournament. And I wanted to thank you. Thank you to all of the fans that have supported women's wrestling, have supported this new division, and have supported this tournament. And probably more important than that, and right now more than ever, more important than that, is every single woman that came before me. Thank you. Thank you for all that made sacrifices, that had unforgettable matches, and that had the fight for women's wrestling. Because it's those women that created opportunities. Opportunities for people like Quinn McKay that were able to compete in the tournament and to show everybody she's a fighter. And opportunities that created tonight. Tonight we crown a new women's champion. And whether that's Miranda Alizé or rok-c, I would put my champion against anyone. Everyone wants to talk about a forbidden door, but there is no door here. So bring your best, because right here, it's the best in the world. Tonight is the night we crown a new Ring of Honor Women's World Champion. This is Ring of Honor, and this is women's wrestling.
Ooh, chills!
I have chills, and like, I guess I got so emotional watching it. Just to give you an idea, I was backstage at another show, and I was watching it on my phone. And when she said, like, let's celebrate all the women before that sacrifice, that's like really struck a chord with me. And I even texted Maria, I'm like, thank you so much. Because it's such a long road for women's wrestling to where we are today. To like a few years ago, the women wouldn't have been in such a high important like spot on the card, and they wouldn't have their own shows, and they wouldn't be taken seriously. And it was a constant fight of, hey, I'm here, look at me. And now like everything is out there. Companies are working together. Strong women are in power, which is the big difference for women by women. And so for me, who's been in this for so long, 25 years, and you see the evolution, that speech to me is like, it's, yeah, I want to cry when I hear it.
But truly, it's because of trailblazers like you that things have progressed to where we're at now. And I feel like they'll only keep growing further and further, which is, I think, one of the most exciting things.
It is like I said, it is a beautiful thing. It took a long time, but that finally, I mean, I just love the fact that it's now easy for women to go to the school and say, I want to be a professional wrestler. And the answer is not going to be, you can't do this, you're a girl. It's like, yes, come join in. And they'll train with the guys, and they'll learn the same way, and they'll be treated well, and they won't be beat up to see how tough they are. They'll just learn how to make their craft better and become, you know, a great wrestler, and hopefully a great person in the process, as it takes a lot of discipline.
Yeah, I'm so excited, Lufisto. You opened a lot of doors, and you know, that brought a tear to my eye as well. I look at Quinn, and Quinn's like my little sister.
We saw that.
To see, you know, to see her get in the ring, and that's what she's wanted to do. She came to the Ring of Honor dojo to be a wrestler. It just happened that she had been a DJ. She's a great on-air host and personality. And we had the idea that I was on way too much. I was on the TV, I was on the recap, I was on everything. And we needed somebody else. And she was extremely talented, but she never stopped dreaming of being a wrestler. So for Maria to point her out, I have a daughter. This is real to me, to see these barriers being broken down in real time, to be able to look her square in the eye and say, hey, if you want to do what dad does or be in the same industry that dad's in, you can do it. And there are people, whether you want to be a broadcaster or a wrestler, and it's just amazing. And the idea that the doors open for business is probably the most intriguing idea, because for such a long time, one company might have 8 female wrestlers, another might have 6, but you'd only see the same types of matches, and you wouldn't get the variety just because there wasn't as many female wrestlers as male wrestlers. Now each company is 8, 10, 12, and those 10 and 12 are traveling to the other companies. I know for a fact that Maria and Deonna Purrazzo are good friends. I know that Damian Adams, who's trained Deonna Purrazzo, and Tasha Steelz, who've both been in Ring of Honor before, they've been publicly congratulating and calling out and challenging rok-c. And we've seen the NWA tag champs. We've seen Allison Kay. We've seen Marty Bell, the Hex. And, this is just an extremely interesting time. You never know who's going to walk through that door. And I kind of like the open border policy we have here at Ring of Honor already. There's so many possibilities, and they're all incredibly exciting.
Definitely keeps everyone on their toes, because you really don't know who's going to show up where. And it is a very thrilling and exhilarating time for whatever this may mean for the women's division here at Ring of Honor. Now, Ian, you, Caprice, and Lenny Leonard were on the call for the ROH Women's Championship final at Death Before Dishonor. I do say probably some of the best seats in the house. So before we get even further into the details of that match, I'd love to let our friends at home see some of the highlights from the Ring of Honor Women's Championship match at Death Before Dishonor. Take a look.
This is the final match in the Quest for Gold tournament to crown the Ring of Honor Women's World Champion.
Wow, that's beautiful. The experience is definitely Miranda, but I tell you what, everything else is virtually identical.
Hammerlock from Miranda Alizé. Looking to get out of it, looking to escape rok-c. Rok-c has great defensive footwork. That's one thing that stood out in the tournament. Likes to go to the bridge here, Lenny.
Great pressure on the elbow as well as the shoulder.
Loves that bridge, the high angle as she takes the inside of the leg.
Ooh!
Oh my God!
Wow! Great balance though right there from the Lucha Baddie.
And he brought up a great point.
And if you think about one that's going to get aggressive, it would definitely be Miranda, would be the aggressor out of the two.
Nice drop down there. It's Alizé leapfrog and a beauty. Nice standing switch. Lenny brought up, is the moment too big for rok-c? Is it too big for Alizé? We're finding out right now that neither woman is fazed by the bright lights here. Ooh, nobody home, looking for a hip toss again. A great Lucha counter.
Moonsault.
No, the knees, nobody home.
Quickly got out of the way, did Alizé right there.
But the head scissors, cartwheels out of it.
That's the head game of rok-c. Showing you, whoa! Now this is the see that this is what rok-c does not need to do.
A heck of a match so far. That's going to take out of her championship headspace. Oh, wait a minute, that's
has to buckle down and wrestle.
You know what?
As a
but
champion.
Maybe in the back of Roxy's mind, she's thinking she has to fire back. You can't let someone like Miranda push you around to fight back and show Miranda that she couldn't push rok-c around. Oh man, what a!
This is what I mean when you fight. Anger is going to go to the aggressor's way, and this is what I mean. She's wow!
rok-c reeling for the first time in this matchup. Nice suplex.
Charging in, nobody home. And it's rok-c stepping in and through. A great Lucha arm drag again. Oh, that time caught. Right to the well, 1, 2,
biting. Is he biting her?
Oh, up to the outside there. And it's rok-c caught by Miranda. Closing the windpipe. And basement Hurricane Rana. Gripping the wrist. Looking for the takeover. Does. The wrist grip takeover by rok-c.
There you go.
Trying to feed off this crowd here in Philadelphia enough.
And going downstairs.
Every time it gets into a slugfest, Alizé is able to take control.
Yeah.
Looking for the head scissors. Instead goes for the side Russian leg sweep. Rolling through.
There's the knees.
Got it!
Yeah.
I know somebody out in California who's watching very closely tonight that's been with us for this tournament, Chelsea Green.
Absolutely.
Keeping a very close eye on the winner of this
blocked
match.
a knee, ripcord.
Going for the submission here, looking for the Miranda rights.
Oh my goodness.
How's the lock?
She's
to get out of it.
close.
Getting to the ropes on Roxy.
That's digging deep.
As they take it to the streets.
Wow.
Back in, off the ropes. Roxy with a lope.
She's turning it up.
There's
Looking
the first
for her
big
opportunity.
chance.
Miranda back up though. It's Alizé off the ropes. Oh, takes her down with a drop kick. And a lope from Alizé. Driving the knee through the chest. And head to head, locking horns. Miranda Alizé, shot to the forehead. And it's Roxy. First time we've seen Miranda cover the whole match. Oh, spins her around. Oh! Cover. She plants her.
Why wouldn't you cover? She's waiting.
Oh! Wow. Oh, wait a minute. Crucifix. 2. Woo! Oh,
Miranda's right.
Smart move to go with
Pin.
the movement.
Good.
Pinning combination.
Oh.
Countered. Countered. Oh, wow. She sees her destiny in front of her. Counter. 1, 2.
Oh, my goodness, what a match.
Oh.
Wow. This is what she was looking for, Riccaboni.
Roxy's
Drive
set.
by.
Drive-by blocked. Drive-by blocked. Wow. Code Rock.
Stuck. That's it, Riccaboni. I promise you that. New champion. New champion. New champion. Wow.
The winner of the Quest for Gold tournament and the Ring of Honor Women's World Champion, ROK-c.
I mean, what a match. My
So
goodness.
exciting. Back and forth, nonstop. They were probably really tired after this match.
Yeah, probably a little bit. Matthew Lopez said Sunday was amazing match. He would say match of the year contender. I would be I'd be one to agree. And be sure my friends, we are live. So post in the chat. Let us know what you thought of the women's championship match. And if you didn't get a chance to watch, you can watch a replay of this match. Full Death Before Dishonor as part of Honor Club, and I highly recommend that because the entire show was amazing. But this match, you could even tell, and I go back to commentary, the octaves that you guys were hitting, you can hear the excitement in your voices. I mean, I could only imagine from being at that standpoint, having to call that match.
It was wild. Every time we thought we saw somebody connect with a move that we thought might end the match, each of the competitors just found a way to dial it to another level. And the need of the move that stood out to me, and how I knew they weren't going to let anything to chance, how they were going to leave it all in the ring, was that lope from Miranda Alizé when she went through the ropes, hit Roxy, drove her knee through her chest, through her sternum, and almost crashed and burned into the railing in her own right. I mean, that right there was the moment in the match when I knew both competitors were going to literally do anything it took. They weren't going to take any shortcuts, but they weren't going to leave any move left undone at that point. It was something that I've called a few Miranda matches, I've called a few ROK-c matches, but we saw things out of both of them we've never seen before. And they both were looking to get any advantage with any new strategy or any new move. So it was amazing. The grin that I had on my face when we came back out of the video package was the grin that I had on my face during the whole match. It was just two competitors just seizing the moment. And shout out to Lenny Leonard. I mean, Lenny is the best, in my opinion, the best commentator out there. And it was such a pleasure to finally work with him. He has a 5+ year history with Ring of Honor prior to this. And it was so good to have him home. I know that he said that he thinks he may have called his last match, but we're going to make sure that that's not the case.
Please.
So. Please. Thank you.
Lenny's
goodness.
one of those that I've seen call matches, like whole shows by himself, and still be like super excited about every single match from top to bottom, even if at the end he would lose his voice because he was so into it. Lenny is just, as the youngsters say, one of the goats. Like he's definitely so awesome, and the dynamic with you guys was so great. And he knows women's wrestling. I can't say anything like bad, or I mean, I only can praise Lenny Leonard, and also I have to praise the lady, because anybody was in doubt that the women's division was not serious at Ring of Honor, they proved you wrong that night. Like the women's wrestling division is business, and Maria is really working hard to make it one of the best in the world right now.
And I don't want to spoil anything, but I can tell you that there have been a number of matches signed. The women's division, previously the critique was, and a fair critique, that the women weren't on TV as often. The women weren't on their own program as often. I can tell you that there have been matches signed that you'll see throughout the next couple of weeks on Ring of Honor television that will be here on Women's Division Wednesday. This is a true commitment to the women's division, and we'll be seeing faces that are familiar and faces that are brand new. I mean, look at rok-c and Miranda Alizé. Those are two names that I knew, but I'm a wrestling nerd and I look everywhere and I watch everything. But I don't know that our normal Ring of Honor fans may have been as familiar with them. So not only are we looking for the big time stars like Allison Kay and Marty Bell and wrestlers from the NWA and Impact, but we're going to find the diamonds in the rough too. And we're going to find the folks from Texas and California and Florida and make sure that they're represented as well. Because we know that just because you're on TV doesn't mean that you don't have the potential, or maybe you're not on TV yet. You may have the potential to be a TV star and a great TV wrestler. So, I know Maria is leaving no stone unturned, and there's going to be some exciting names coming up and some great matches signed in the next couple of weeks.
Speaking of which, something I can share is that next week on Women's Division Wednesday, we will be having a match featuring Lainey Luck going against Brandy Lauren, two alternates for the Quest for Gold. So we will be able to showcase that match as well. But it is such an exciting time where we are seeing talent from all over kind of come through the doors at Ring of Honor, and I absolutely love it. It is such an exciting time. Now, one other name that we kind of mentioned, and Lenny had alluded to it on commentary, is that there was someone in California that may have had her eyes on this match. And I'm just wondering, Chelsea Green had some very good things to say about rok-c. She called rok-c the future of wrestling on social media. I thought it was very sweet. But I'm just wondering how long it's going to take before Chelsea tries to get in on this title picture action.
Yeah, Chelsea, I've known Chelsea for a long time. We met first at All In, which is about 3 years ago at this point. And, Chelsea had been making waves. She was the Impact champion. She was the hot mess. She was, in the bride attire. And over time, Chelsea has become, at that point, she was a little bit more flashy, used some agility, high impact moves. She's become a great technical wrestler. She's become a student of the game. And as she's got even more experience, she's more of a threat. And Chelsea's a businesswoman. Chelsea's going to, if you're in the title matches, you make more money. If you have the title, you make more money. So I don't think it'll be soon before long before, and I'm not saying Chelsea's going to turn her back on the fans but Chelsea knows where the money's at. The money's with the title. And I wouldn't be surprised if Chelsea threw her hat in the ring sooner rather than later.
And if she's not going for the title, I really liked her as a team with Willow. So that would be something cool too. I think they had a very cool dynamic together. So either with Willow or definitely, I know she has her eyes on the prize, but I really like what they did as a tag team.
And fans at home have been so vocal. Greg said he wants to see more of Max the Impaler, that they really impressed him. And I just love the fact that we are going to be seeing even more and more people from this tournament, people not from this tournament. But, Ian, I talked about you having one of the best seats in the house, but there may be someone that probably can do you one better. So without further ado, my friends, I would love to bring on our new Ring of Honor Women's World Champion, rok-c.
Hey.
Hey, champ! Oh my gosh, welcome back to Beyond the Bells, now coming in as champion. How are you feeling? Oh, you might be muted. Hold on, we want to hear from you.
There we go. Sorry.
There we go. Just building that anticipation for us.
I'm still feeling like all jittery from this past weekend. I feel like it still kind of hasn't gone away. I'm still like, wait, what? That just happened. But yeah, I feel awesome.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'll say the Quest for Gold definitely had me screaming bloody murder at my television. And there were definitely some moments during that match where it felt like you were getting taken to your limits by Miranda. What were you digging down into during that match to keep you pushing through?
So when I first started training, my first trainer one of the first things he told me was, during your wrestling journey, always remember your why. And my why has always been like that 10-year-old little girl that just wanted to make all her dreams come true. And that's exactly throughout the whole match. Like, I just like, there was moments, and I'm sure you could tell, where I was just like, I'm gonna tap, but it was like, no, like I have to remember my why, and like I cannot just let this championship slip away from me. Like, this tournament was so tough, and I had to like go through so many brick walls just to get to this point. And I was like, no, I can't let this biggest opportunity of my life slip away from me.
And especially after following your path along the quest for gold, your victory was just such a goosebumps inducing moment. And obviously it was incredibly intense, all the emotions as you were embracing your family. They must have been so proud. And after seeing your journey and all that you've achieved at such a young age, are you able to share with us maybe anything from their reaction?
No, yeah. They were brought into the ring with me, and my mom was crying so much. And it's funny because I actually flew in early to Philadelphia, as well as my parents, just so I could spend a little time with them. And my mom had literally cried a good like 5 times before the pay-per-view. And I'm like, nothing's happened yet. And she's like, but I'm just so proud.
Aww.
And like, I even told her, because I was like, don't be disappointed if I lose. And she's like, I'm not gonna be disappointed. Like, I'm so proud that you're even doing this. And it makes my heart so happy, because like, I feel like nobody sees what goes on behind the scenes. And like, as much as my mom was so supportive of me like coming in at such a young age, it was also really scary for her. And it was also really hard, because it was like throughout my career, I'm like 16 and I'm traveling every weekend, and I'm missing birthdays and missing all this stuff. And it kind of like caused a little bit of problems, just because it was just like, it was hard on her, because she's like, I still want you to be a kid, and I don't want you to miss out on like kid things and high school things. But it was like, she was torn, because she's like, she wants to support my dreams, but she also doesn't want me to like kind of miss out on all these things. And I think her just like getting in the ring with me was just like a sense of like relief. Like I always promise my mom, like, I just have this big feeling that this is gonna work out for me. And I always told her, like, I promise, like, just please, like, stay with me, because I know that this is gonna work out. And I think just that moment was just like she was just prouder than proud.
And I'm sure as a parent, Ian, I'm sure that you can kind of like be on board with that. It's just like an amazing kind of feeling.
It's incredible. I mean, I get excited when Zach learns a new word, or he learns to ride his bike with the training wheels, and we're working on without, or tying his shoes. But I can't imagine, we'll always be proud of our kids no matter what they do. But to see one of our children achieve something as big as what rok-c did, that's got to be an amazing feeling. I can't even imagine how your parents were feeling, Rock. I mean, you've written your name in history. I mean, you are the inaugural Ring of Honor Women's Division World Champion, and it's that. Did you let the moment soak in at all? I remember my first pay-per-view calling. I almost didn't soak it in. I almost didn't take in the moment that I was doing something cool. That because I had the same dream too. I wanted to be a commentator, so I hit that goal. Did you let it soak in at all? Did you during the match, after the match, before?
Yeah, so before the match, so Chris Hero was there, and he told me, he's like, when you go out there and you're just like going out for your entrance, like look around and just soak in the moment. And he's like, and during the match, just like listen to the crowd and just like take it all in. And as well as Maria, she told me, she's like, this is like, this doesn't happen all the time. Like, soak in that moment. And so I made sure to like, at the beginning of the match, like right when I came out, and to the end of the match, like I was like, and it was just so much like raw emotion, like so many tears. Like I have the belt with me right here.
I was going to ask. Yes, can you show me?
Yeah, and I'm sure you can still see some tears on there.
They've dried in. It's part of it now.
Right? But it was. I'm literally never, ever, ever, ever going to forget that moment, honestly.
No.
Well, speaking of a very special moment, you talked in the past about, wanting to be someone that 10-year-old you would be proud of. So after becoming the ROH Women's World Champion, what do you think 10-year-old you would say to you right now?
That gave me the chills when you said that. It's crazy because like during the tournament, like after every one of the matches, on my face there was just a look on my face, and I watched it back, and there was a look on my face of like I was in shock, because I was, and I think it was just, I was still in that mindset of like, wait, what am I doing here? Like I'm at Ring of Honor and I'm wrestling like some of the best women's wrestlers in the world, and I think after I won the championship, I didn't even have that sense of like shock. It was more of a sense of like relief, and a sense of like I'm not afraid to say like I'm one of the best, and I think I kind of had to just like tell myself like it's okay to say that, and I think like just 10-year-old me would just, I don't know, I think she'd be freaking out because like I said, I think like I always had this vision of like I want to make it, but I never thought that I would be like accomplishing all of these things like along the way, and it's so crazy to me.
Well, it's real.
Your road to the championship like was one of the hardest, because you had a former champion right from the start in Sumi Sakai, and then you had Quinn, who had so much fire, who had the commentary team behind her, and so much love from the fans, and then you get another veteran in Angelina Love, and then in the end, as you mentioned yourself on another episode of Beyond the Bells, you said, I fought Miranda twice and she beat me twice. So these were all like big, like huge challenges for you. So how can you explain, like, how do you feel like from the start of the tournament, looking who you were facing first, to how you feel now that you went through this whole road and you actually holding the championship in your hands right now?
Like I said earlier, I think it's like just a sense of like, whew, I did it. And like I said, it was just, after every single win, I was shocked, because I was just like, before my matches, I was just like, I don't know if I think I can do it, but I'm totally not sure. So it was scary. But like I said, I had to remember my why and why I started, and like I came this far, and I wasn't gonna come this far just to come this far. And so just holding that championship and having Maria pass it along to me, like she gave me that first ticket to gold, which was mind-blowing for me. And then for her to just pass that moment, like passing the championship to me, was just, it was just like so emotional, just because like I said, it was very hard for me to kind of believe in myself, and I think me being very young kind of is like a factor in that. But like having Maria believe in me, and then having the fans believe in me, and then just like me holding the championship, I'm like, I believe in myself. Like I did all this, and it's amazing.
You did it all, and you now have a nice old piece of hardware to prove it too.
Yeah.
So, and we want you to know, since we are live, fans are kind of chiming in, and people are already excited for your legacy as women's world champion. Jeffrey K already wants to know who your first challenger is going to be. So people are already so invested and excited for your journey as champion.
Thank you guys so much. I'm
Oh
so
my
excited.
gosh.
I'm so excited. Like Maria said, I want to defend this championship against anyone, anywhere, anytime. I'm ready.
Roxy is ready. We are ready. We are excited for everything next that comes your way. And we want to thank you so much for stopping by and chatting with us again on Beyond the Bells, champ.
Thank you. Thank you guys for having me.
We'll see you next time, Roxy.
Bye.
We'll see you, Rock.
Oh, what an absolute doll. We've talked about just how like sweet of a person she is. So to now see her with women's championship gold is just, it's a great moment.
Yeah, I'm wondering though. I mean, had she faced somebody with a little bit more of a mean streak, will somebody come along and use that against her and kind of and maybe prey on there was a lot of clean breaks. There was a lot of it was a great technical match. It was a scientific match, as they used to say. I'm wondering if there's somebody that's going to come in and be able to break the rules. And Judd Cassidy, I see the comment here. Yeah,
I'll stand in for Maria with her notepad. Maria's always making the matches, so yes, the wheels are turning.
Yeah, I think she's got to watch her back though, because had she faced Angelina Love at full strength, had she faced maybe Max, those are competitors that are not afraid to fight a little dirty, and they may know how to take advantage of somebody that doesn't quite have the experience, and they might be the ones to step up to the plate and take the title.
Anything can happen as the plot thickens, but for now, we do want to celebrate and congratulate and send all the good vibes over to Roxy.
Yes.
But yes, definitely thinks that Roxy, I know, is a watcher of Beyond the Bell, so she definitely is, I'm sure, taking notes on the strategies that you're sharing. I know Lufisto shared some strategies before, so I know Roxy tunes in. But as in true Bell to Bells fashion, let's just wrap up the episode with a few headlines from the news in the world of women's wrestling. So over the weekend, Hyan defended her Heart of Shimmer Championship against Alex Windsor at Wrestle Carnival's Carnival of Honor, and the event actually marked the first time ever that the Heart of Shimmer title was defended on international soil. Yes. Next up, Shine returns this Sunday evening in Clearwater, Florida. And I am so excited to be on commentary, calling some amazing matches.
Nice.
And very exciting, headlining the event. Allison Kay challenges Ivelisse for the Shine Championship inside of a steel cage. Oh my goodness.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And then, as revealed by Gail Kim, the All Knockouts event, Knockouts Knockdown, will return to Impact Plus on October 9th. And you can see the matches live in person this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in Nashville. And as we mentioned earlier on, next week on Women's Division Wednesday, you will have an exclusive Women's Division Wednesday match. So be sure to tune in for that. But Ian, Lufisto, this has been such a fun live episode. And it's been such a pleasure chatting with you both.
Absolutely. Yeah. The pleasure's been all mine. I mean, it was great to have you on commentary I can't believe it's 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
I know you mentioned an all-female, Impact's doing an all-female event. And I saw our friend Veda Scott is doing some commentary on Ring of Honor alumni. So yeah, when the restrictions and this, that, and the other, when the world starts to heal a little bit, I'm going to make sure that not only Lenny Leonard's back, but I'm going to make sure that you're back as well, because we need more representation. It shouldn't stop at just the ring. It should continue to the backstage interviews, the commentators, etc. Because we need every point of view we can have. And if we're going to have women in the ring, and we should also have women at the commentary table.
I don't mind it. I love diverse perspectives all over the place.
Absolutely.
Heck yes, on board. Well, my friends, thank you both again for joining me. And thank you, my friends, for tuning in at home as we took you through all the action of the Quest for Gold tournament. So I guess until next time, for Ian Riccaboni, for Lufisto, I'm Melissa Marino, and we'll see you later.
See you.